all dirty. I'm sorry guys, you're so dirty. Let me clean you off. That's all you get. Hey guys, welcome to the studio. Today we're making... What are we making today? What are we making today, Tyler?
You're making a case.
Today we're gonna make a leather case, a leather cover. We're gonna recover these little mini scriptures with leather. It's gonna be awesome. So we're gonna do a nice sculpture on it. Pretty much a novice at leatherworking at this point. Got a couple of these cases type cover rebooking things, but I'm not really great at it. So we're just gonna learn as we go. But if I can do it, you can do it. Start out, we need to trace out the amount of leather we need. So we got this little scrap here. So I'm just going to trace around the back cover and then carefully roll the book like that, and then trace it again. And then we have our outline, and we've got our center, and then I transferred that. So this is the back. This is all going to get glue, and nobody cares about this, right? Transfer that over here a little bit bigger so this line will get cut off, so we're not going to see these pen marks. And then I've already transferred our little character on here, if you can see that little elk on there. And we're going to put some mountains on it. We're just going to get a rough sketch. So to start out, to transfer an image onto the leather, we just get a damp rag and wipe it down. This is already really wet because I have been soaking it. So you just keep that nice and wet. And then a lot of the times I've seen leatherworkers use a film in between the leather and whatever their image is, just so it lasts longer, because the paper will soak up all the water and kind of get all nasty. But this is going to be super quick, so I'm not too worried about that. But if you have a more detailed drawing, you should tape it down and then put a piece of wax paper in between your image and the leather, and it'll transfer really nice. But then when you draw on it like this, you just draw with a pen or a pencil or whatever you have, it makes those marks in the leather. Really, really easy. You don't have to push very hard. So we're going to go ahead and quick transfer this mountain scene onto the leather. Alright, the next step after we have our picture transferred onto the leather is to go around the whole thing with a swivel knife. You don't necessarily have to spend the money on this. You can get a whole kit with stamps and the knife and a bunch of different things at craft stores. But if you don't want to spend the money, you can always just do any kind of knife that you have. You just have to be careful with it. But this is really nice for doing small details. So anything that you want to stand out that you're going to stamp, or do a relief kind of embossing, you're going to go around with the swivel knife so you can get a deeper picture out of it. So let's do that right now. So now the next step is to shape, sculpt, and stamp it with these guys. Like I said, you can buy a set of these from the store pretty cheap. I got most of these from Michael's, I think, and then I picked up a couple of these other ones from a few other shops along the way. But the first one that I use is, let's see, these two. These two are bevelers, if you can see that. So this is a smooth beveler, doesn't have any texture on it. See, it's just smooth. And so it'll, where we cut it with the swivel knife, it'll push the leather in and make it deeper. And this one does the same thing, except it textures the leather and kind of burnishes it a little bit more and makes it darker. So same thing, just one is texture, one isn't. And then all these other ones are decorating and texturing. This one's a backgrounder, so you can texture and darken the background behind letters and different flowers and things. And then these are different flowers and textures and different things, so do what you want. And then I made this one because I didn't have a smooth beveler, so I just had this extra piece of steel that had the tip ground off it. It kind of broke, and so I made it into a smooth beveler. So that works. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and bevel most of this, and then so we're gonna carve and sculpt the mountains and the elk, and then the rest of it we're just gonna paint after it dries, of course.
Going dark.
Okay, so this is a little bit too glossy for the glue to stick to, because we're just going to glue the leather straight onto this to make it easier. So we're going to rough it up with some sandpaper. And we don't need to do it here because there's not going to be any glue here. It's just going to be loose. Just the front and the back covers. We'll go in a couple different directions and just scuff up all the parts, especially concentrating on the edges, because that's where it's going to be the weakest. We want it to glue down really well right there on the edge. And I haven't decided, I might stitch this together. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. Most of the things I do, I just kind of figure it out as I go. Don't have a plan, just winging it. See, that's a lot better, and the glue is definitely going to stick to that a lot better than this glossy thing.
bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Don't give me a script.
Hey, listen. I give you a script.
I gotta edit all this out.
No, these are
Cut.
bloopers.
Cut.
Bloopers. Blooper reel. Not really great at it, you say.
So let's get started.
Why don't you post some of the pictures of the other scripture cases?